Okay, so my name's Neil. Nice to see you all. Thanks for taking the time to come and listen to my drivel. Hopefully, I suppose I'd just like to start off by saying wherever I teach in the world, or whether I'm in my home club, I just want to make clear that I'm here for you. You're not here for me. So my hope is that I can help in some way, like an idea or a concept or some specific technique. Hopefully there is something that is useful to you that you can go away and play with, okay? Ordinarily, my approach to jiu-jitsu is one of problem solving. So normally what I would be doing is, in my classes, I'd be looking at an individual and the group as a whole and try and pick up patterns of problems and then try and address those problems and then move on from there. Usually when we address those problems, we're looking to address them from like a strengths-based approach. So I've got somebody who's very good in the wrestle, in the scramble, and they're saying to me they've got a problem with escaping a certain position. It doesn't make sense for them not to utilize those scrambling, wrestling skills in solving that problem. That's what I mean by like a strengths-based approach. Obviously, in a big class like this, I don't know lots of people, so it's very hard to coach in that way. It's very hard to have sort of like a strengths-based approach. And it's individual to collective and individuals. But what I'm going to try and do is cover like a technical area, so there'll be some specific techniques as such to look at, but then also try to identify like a bit of a key concept within the sport of jiu-jitsu, so like a key idea that hopefully even if the technical thing doesn't suit you and it's not really what you want to do, hopefully the concept sort of resonates with your mind in another aspect of your jiu-jitsu. Did that all make sense, or did that sound like a lot of noise? A bit of both. Yeah, no, I get it. So look, but what we'll do is leave it at that and we'll just get going and see where we end up. So the technical area that I want to have a look at for the gi, and I've noticed there's quite a few no gi as well, so I'm going to also have to deal with that as well. So I'm going to kind of mix and match that a little bit. But we'll look at the technical area that I want to look at is the open guard. So when the guard's open and my opponent's on their feet and they're looking to pass, all right, and then concepts around that and what we're going to do. So let's just start with a drill to get going. So it's like a bit of a guard retention style drill. Can I just borrow you man? Yeah. So for the gi grapplers, what I want you to do, if you just go on this side so everybody can see, is I want you to start from like a sort of De La Riva style position. Okay? Now you can have your hands, there's no right or wrong. Like you can have your hands like, I can hold leg and sleeve, leg, sleeve, collar, sleeve. Do you know what I mean? Like I can, multiple variations. There's no set rule, okay? But just to start with today, I think it's always good, I personally like to control the posture. I feel like when somebody wants to pass at speed, they really want control over their own posture. So if I can break their own posture down, already I'm creating a problem for my opponent, yeah? So I like to take a grip on the collar, and this hand, I like to take a grip on the leg, because it just solidifies, strengthens the fact that they're stuck in the mud. Yeah, so they're stuck in this position here. Okay, so I'm going to hold here. And one of the most common things that this person will do on top is they'll look to take a grip and start trying to make some kind of posture. Yeah, okay. And then they'll look to try and even slide this hand down to the ankle, stuff the ankle in, either by stepping back first and then step forward. Once they're here, it puts stress on my hook and they can go left or right. Yeah, pretty much everybody probably knows this already. Okay, so what I'm going to do is because they're putting me under threat in my guard, so he starts to make his posture, foot to the leg, start to step back and then come forward. What I'm going to do is I'm going to recognize that, and whilever my opponent's at distance to me, it's very, very difficult to create any kind of kazushi. So the first thing I want to do is I want to change my feet to a different grip. So I'm bringing this foot to the inside and this foot underneath. What that'll allow me to do now is use the power of my legs and my hands to bring my opponent towards me. Yeah, I want them on me at this stage. And now he's become light because his weight's in his head. I'm going to start to use this bottom hook to elevate him up and to the side. Yeah? I'm going to put my foot to gauge the distance again, so I'm managing the distance. And I square back up. He stands back up, and I'm back into my De La Riva again. So I've retained my guard position. Does that make sense to everyone? So I'm here, got my guard. He makes posture, slides down. I already am changing my feet. I pull in to my body. I then start to lift up and out to the side. 4, 4, square up, back in the De La Riva position. Yes? Okay. If we're no-gi, is that fine for everybody with a gi? If we're no-gi, step your foot forward again, please. So if we're no-gi here, when he stuffs the leg and steps over, again, I'm going to now reach for the lat. So I'm going to change my feet, reach for the lat, and again, I pull in, guide over, foot, 4, square back up. Yeah, so he stuffs the leg, and change my feet, I'm looking for the lat. Here. Pull, start to extend, square up, back where I start. Has everyone got the retention drill, both gi and no gi? Yeah? So on 3, 1, 2. Let's just talk about like a hidden concept within this. So there's, well, 2 concepts actually. So there's what I call 3 phases to grappling, 3 like stages to grappling. So stage 1 is we make a grip. That's stage 1. It's actually the most underappreciated element of the sport and probably the most important element. Do you know what I mean? Everyone doesn't really think about the grip, but the grip's crucial. Whoever gets the grip, so a good example of when the grip's going wrong is if you're sparring with somebody and you feel like you can't get a shot off, or you feel like that you can't have a go at anything. That's usually a sign that you're being out-gripped, that you've not got a grip in the game to do anything. They're just out-gripping you. So you might actually, if you've got a grip, beat your opponent, but you just aren't getting one. So you may have really good tools, but you're just not using any of them. They're all in the toolbox, okay? So phase 1 is the grip. Phase 2 is the off-balancing. It's creating some kind of kazushi. That off-balancing then will allow you to perform the technique that you want to do. Does that make sense? So usually, concept number 1, usually people go the wrong order. So their brain goes, what technique do I want to do? How do I get them off balance? What grip do I need? It's the wrong way around. We should just get a grip and then deal with what's in front of us the other way. The brain is working wrong. It's working the wrong way around. Getting the grip is usually the simple process because there's usually only limited options. If their bum's back and their hands are forward, you have to grip the hands or the collar. If their head and hands are back, you have to grip the legs. Do you understand what I mean? It's quite simple, really. You can only grip what's in front of you. All right? So they're the first phases of grappling. But the concept that I'm really keen on and the idea that I'm really keen on is this idea that once you have a grip, this won't be hard for you to imagine. I want you to imagine that my shape is one of those balls up there, the exercise ones. I told you, they're easy to imagine, kind of look like it anyway. So when you have one of those balls, I want you to imagine the ball, yeah? When you get your grip, the art to playing guard is you bring your opponent first on top of the ball. Once they're on top of the ball, they now can fall off. Does that make sense? So one of the most underappreciated element, you see it with, where are you, my friend? You see it, for example, with half guard. You see this. So people heel up, he's off the ball. They go, grip, yeah? And this person starts to sit their weight back because they don't want to go forward. And then this person's like, I'm going to do I want to wrestle up. He was never on the ball. He was never on the ball to drop off the ball to provide the avenue to do the swing. What should have happened was, he starts to sit back, I roll my hips, I bring the person onto the ball. Now they're on the ball, he can come off the ball. Now it's easy to come on. Because now they're on the ball, they can fall off the ball, which creates a space for me to go. Does this make sense? Does everybody, can you kind of visually see the concept? If you're small, this scares you massively. Because all you want to do all the time is push everything off the ball. But it's why it's then hard to sweep. Do you understand what I mean? It has to. So, when you're performing this drill, I want you to have that concept in your mind. I want you to do your guard retention again. Actually, go down. When he's here on me, and I step back and I go here, I'm walking that fine line between applying pressure to him, getting to his J point, yeah, and being on the ball. Now I'm in his world. Do you understand what I mean? Because I'm on the ball now. Now I've got a problem. That one roll of my hips is the difference between me winning and him winning. Yeah? So what I want you to focus heavily on doing your guard retention drill again is when you're here and he steps back off this leg, your first motion is to it's like I'm come to me. Do you understand what I mean? Like my leg goes through low and I bite to me. Now he's on my legs, I can start to elevate and kick up. And now he's up, I got my distance, because it's guard retention. I can go back to my guard again. You understand what I mean? Like I'm here again. Now I'm not attacking at this stage, I'm just using the ball scenario to keep my guard. What I'm seeing when I look around the room is this. I'm just keeping them away. I have to bring them onto the ball to be effective. Do you understand? Yeah. Okay, let's go. 1, 2. I'm always thinking about like doing like a backwards roll. Do you get what I mean? Like I'm rolling over backwards because I want my knees to come to my chest. So, where's my little mate? Oh. Blended in. So let's just change it up. Similar kind of concept, similar kind of idea. Regarding once again. So I'm here with the gi or without the gi, you know, whatever. It's kind of a double-edged sword, right? If I can grab the gi, it appears a massive advantage, but he can also grab my gi to prevent the power. You know what I mean? Like you say potato, I say potato. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Yeah, so there's pros and cons with both, right? Like, so if he's here and like say he starts to push up, he starts to push down, I bring that through because I start to want to go, you know, like to do the technique that we've just done. I forgot what we just did, but yeah, we did something. Yeah. One of the things that they'll want to do, because this leg went in here, yeah, is that they'll want to start to sit down a little bit more, hands coming slightly to the floor. Now they want to start rolling their hips and looking to smash your legs down to the side this way, like a smash legs to the side. It's a very common way in which people will look to pass the guard, right? Okay. So again, very, very similarly, when they drop down and look to smash, contrary to popular belief, there's an instinct where we go, get off me. Do you understand what I mean? Like when they sit on that hook and start to come forward, but our instincts are to go, like, go away. But actually what happens when we go away, what we kind of do is we open up the target area with which they want to land on so they can directly access the J line, which is where they want to camp. Okay? That's when we kick away. What we actually, in a way, want them to do is we want to just pull them back onto the ball again to make them unstable. Exactly the same scenario. So I'm here, he's in, or she's inside. Yeah, he steps back, he comes down. I want to do this, but I feel him start to lower his base. So very, very no-gi. So my hand goes to the side at this stage. And everything pulls in towards me. Like I'm a big fat kid, but like I'm still pulled in like a ball. Do you get what I mean? And now when he starts to roll or she starts to roll, go on, keep rolling, I can start to elevate. And I can start to think about this leg, or if that leg's hidden, say he's got his foot up in there, I can start to guide back over and start to think about, you know, like single leg X style position. Because they're on the ball, I should be just rolling my opponent round where I want them to go. So if they're up, I'm here, steps back. So I want to take him this way, but he sits heavy. Yeah, and see how he's sitting down there. He wants my heel to the floor. Yeah, so I've got to get in and bring him to me. Does that make sense? And now if he comes to me, he's actually on the ball. So if he actually is daft enough now to roll his hips like he wants to do the smash, he's actually giving me his leg. Yeah? So if it was the gi, seeing as over here, we may as well do it. If it was the gi, I would touch this leg, not this one. Okay? And as he unfurls and rolls down, yeah, into this position. Be mobile so you can see these, everyone. So you stand up on your feet, look around. I've got this here, like I've got the leg. I can hip out, and I can immediately move my wrestle on, if it's the gi. If it's no gi, so he steps off, and he starts to sit down, so I bring him in, look. If it's no gi, obviously, when I come in here, I can start to think about setting in on the, you with me? I can start to think about coming in on the leg. And if I don't like either of those things, yeah, so he steps off. So as he starts, I pull in. If I don't like either of those things, I can just let go of my hand, take the leg, guide my opponent over there, go into my single leg X, might even start wrestling up from this position. Doesn't matter. What I really care about is this idea of once they're on here, they've got a big fall, which means you are always retaining your guard. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah? On three, 1, 2. Question for you all. Like, if I was, say I was grappling against somebody who like kept sort of off balancing me forward. Or yeah, kept bringing. Do you know what I mean? Like I had this feeling like It literally does feel like when you're grappling somebody with a good guard that understands this concept, it feels like you're here, there's this like exercise ball, and then every now and again you find yourself like going on it, and you're like, ugh, and then you kind of come down and you're like, I didn't like that. But you know you've got to go forward to do anything. It's like a horrible feeling. It's like I have to go forward to attack, but every time I go forward to attack, it's like I come up on a wave, and then I'm like, well, where am I going? And that's a good feeling for him. And now it's a complication for me. What I find, if you can get this reaction, is your opponent then starts, without knowing it, like getting further and further back. Because, why? I don't want to be on the ball anymore. It's like, I don't like this idea. So we get back to we go back to being white belts. Can we be out here running around in, sorry, any white belts? Can we go back to this running around because we're frightened of the connection? I got some dirty looks there and I messed up there, didn't I? Sorry. Yeah, you get the idea. So we just go back to like running around a distance. Okay, so when that happens, so say like him coming to me, yeah, allows me to be able to like bring them onto the ball, yeah? Him going away from me, yeah, this is when we get lazy. We have to take the ball to them. So he starts going away from me. Ring back on the ball again, look. Do you understand what I mean? Like, here, look. Knees to chest. Hand. Just move. Go. I want, like if he goes all the way over to this side, like, again, I'm still in the same position I was before. This leg is potentially in trouble. Like, I'm not concerned here. This doesn't worry me. Here. Because at some point in time, there'll be a movement that'll either make him fall that way, up there, that way, all of which are in my favor. See how it's set up again? Why? Because I need them to be back on the ball again, look. Until a time comes through where now I can come up. The problem is we try to come up too soon on the sweep before we've really got them on the ball to fall off the ball to give us space to come up. Does that make sense to everybody? So what I'm going to get you to do now is, if you would please, is be here, and this person just starts sort of like ass to grass, moving backwards. Like, I don't like this. Yeah? So use your feet, use your core. Yeah? Sit up, take, and fall inwards, look. Bring your opponent to you. Yeah? Bring your opponent to you. Go back. All the way back. You brought me up. It's easy for me, it might bring me all the way up. Down. Now he falls. Now I can come up. Do you get the idea? Yeah. Just try and get them rocking and rolling, and when they fall, see what it feels like to come up or move. Do you get the idea? Yeah. On 3, 1, 2. Try if you can. What's the advantage? What's the glaring 2 advantages of the person on top?
Beat the angle. Beat the angle, I think.
Just think initially. Say like you came into the gym for the first time ever. You're a beginner, and coach puts you with.
You got to grab it on your side.
Yeah. Weight. It's on top. Weight's the problem, right? That huge problem is the weight on top, right? Massive problem. But the weight's on you, right? Like, see, instantaneously, it's the first thing was like, they're above me and the weight's on top. You get the idea? So when you play guard, a static opponent is your enemy. You understand what I mean? Like if I'm here with change my school. His name's Little Evil. So he looks like an evil child. But like if sorry, if I'm against him, right, and you just take a grips. If I'm against him and he's pushing me out and he's bringing his legs in, he's bringing me forward and he's kicking his legs out that way, making me step. Do you understand what I mean? Like he's making me do all these things. This is really good for him. This is gold for him, right? But if he pulls that there, and then I go like that, and he goes to do this, and I go, ooh, I don't like that. And he just goes, does nothing. I'll get heavier. My feet will roll, I'll get heavier. I'll go further down, start to rolling back. You understand what I mean? Like the world starts becoming pretty grim for him pretty fast because of the weight. And I'm only like 78 kilos. If I was really heavy, it'd be a problem, right? So, why is that hard to balance on, the ball? It always moves, doesn't it? It's never static, is it? It always moves. So even the tiniest roll is important. Like if I'm here and I'm pushing and pulling and he steps over my foot and he goes in and I find myself getting stuck, you know what I mean? Just sit really heavy on my heels. Don't sit too far back because I've got to sit up. Yeah, okay? I've got to lie. I can't. Do you understand what I mean? Like, I can't just sit there. I have to create, like, come on, like, move, sir. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have to force something into being. Does that make sense? And hopefully, through that forcing, I get the hands back to the floor. Yeah? So for you gi guys, let's talk about something from this now. Back. See how his hands are on the floor? Where does she want to go? They want to like walk backwards with their hands so their foot hits the floor so they can stand back up, right? Go back. Start to walk back. Pause. Foot off. Yeah. Yeah. Push. Move in. Steps over my foot. When you start to go back, foot off. No. No, let's go. From here. Push in, feel in, sit back up. Here. Foot. If his hand comes off the floor, it's not on. So sit back. You understand what I mean? Like, the hand's got to be on the floor. Because there's nothing guarding his head now. See how I? Hook. Hook. Back. False leg. Yeah? Real leg. And over the shoulder. It's not a triangle clasp, but not behind the deltoid. Too big. Too big, look. Yeah? the foot wants to go on top of it. You know, like, yeah. Everyone got it? Oh, I need no-gi guys, don't I? No-gi humans. Yeah, so I'm here. Grappling. Maybe grabbing the back of the head. Steps over. In here. I bring my opponent. I start to take them over. 1, 2. So, through. Yeah. Hips. Yeah. Pinch. And roll inside. Like. So my weight goes down, chest over foot, fall. It's my hips lock. That's the power. Not this. No. Because the femur now is rotating in the same direction as the tibula and fibula. That's no good. That's what he wants. It wants to actually go the other way, look. So the femur goes this way, and when I go like that, the tib and fib turn that way. So they do this, look. Away from each other. Yeah? Heel. Turn in. And now as he falls, try and your leg. Curl up like a ball. You want to bend in the leg. Look. Got it? On 3, 1, 2. All right. Let's have a look at a couple of other options for you. So, when I was a younger man, I quite liked this technique. Still do it, but I probably don't do it as much as I should. It's more just probably being a bit lazy, if I'm honest. You have to be a little bit more dynamic with it. So again, I often think, like I said, Jiu-Jitsu is very strength-based, so it suits your personality at different times or what mood you're in. So another thing that I like to do is when I'm here and they step over this foot and I bring it inside and I bring them onto the ball, yeah, and I start to guide them away like this, here. What I feel sometimes in the moment is this basing arm is a bit closer. Do you understand what I mean? Like the basing arm's closer. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling on the collar and I'm kind of like drawing my hips up to the body. Yeah? Okay? And this hand is coming in and sweeping his arm up. My knees pinch in and I drop this way on the arm. Okay? Now, a tiny little detail here, when we come into this position here, maybe be active around this side. The strongest grips in Jiu-Jitsu are the ones that make loops, full loops, yeah? So what people tend to do is they tend to get into like a bit of a thing to want to grab the arm in the armbar. And often what will start to happen is they'll bring their other knee into play and then this becomes like a dogfight. Do you get the idea? Okay? And if they're heavier here, they can start to look to extract the arm and put weight on you. So make a really powerful loop. He obviously wants to pull the arm up this way. So I want power driving down this way. So just go back one stage. So when I initially landed, my hand wants to go on top of my leg. So now, say he had a longer arm and he now bring your leg into play. It doesn't matter to me. Like, there's no way he's pulling this out of here now because of this. He's got to pull through my own leg. It's impossible. All right? So this hand's always here. It's very important when it's slippy and slidey, no gi. And always remember everything's compressing in and curling back. I'm compressed around the shoulder. It's all of ice. Yeah? Now I've got to take this out. Yeah? What we very rarely like process in our brain is that the reason why this is powerful, yeah, is that generally people are trying to pull it this way. So they're kind of pulling the arm through the leg. Can you see that? But really the power is, like, just go back one phase. How did he put it in there? So how did it go into that lock? Go on, start to move. He lifts his leg up and puts it over. So the way out of that is exactly the reverse of it. Do you understand? It has to be, right? It's common sense. So pull towards you and then up. And now the arm goes back out underneath in the same way that it came under. Does that make sense? The natural thing is for it to do. I noticed I didn't go back to holding it. I went back to like a hug position because I still want a loop. I can bring this into here if I want to adjust his hand position or whatever, but the loop is the power. Yeah? My arm makes one part, my body makes the other part, if you can't see the loop. Yeah? So, I'm here, he steps back, here. So I kicked him a bit harder because I wanted his hand closer to me. Yeah? Okay. And now look. Hips look, yeah? It's like you're dancing on a Friday night, yeah? Hips open in, yeah? Right behind the shoulder. Back. Once I've got that, I'm laughing. Absolutely laughing now once I've got that. Hand. Clamp. And rotate. And immediately look for that leg. Start to bring it in. Lift towards, and then up, and then out. If you're lucky, put it back in. Or unlucky, whichever way you want to look at it. When you do this, sometimes they start to roll. For me, when they roll, I look for behind their head. What I don't want is the momentum of their roll to lead to like a sit-up if they're massive. Do you understand what I mean? Like if they're big. So as they roll, I put it over their shoulders. So if they try to sit up, I can push down. And then I counter that by locking it in over the top. Yeah? Yeah? Good. One more time. It's over. Got it? Mm-hmm. No-gi people. I'll come down there and show you. Okay. 1, 2. Let me. I couldn't not show you this, and then we'll. I have to show you this because this is, whilst I do those from so just to reiterate and recap, so we know where we've been. We started with a guard retention drill from a popular open guard position, and we discussed from that guard retention drill that a key element in that guard retention is the ability to bring our opponent on the ball. If we can constantly bring our opponent on the ball when they're looking to pass our guard, it will be so much easier to retain our guard. But what it will also do is it will start to create opportunities where they start to heavily fall off the ball. When they fall off the ball, so far we've looked at triangle, we've looked at arm lock. We talked about earlier that if we've got them rolling around on the ball, often in the act of just rolling around, you just end up sitting up. There's so many times where I end up just sitting up and they go down, or I get them coming forward like this and I just think, oh, come on. You know what I mean? They're just so far off the ball because of the roll that it just makes life easier. Try never to force coming up and through. Unless, I don't know, your family's in danger or you're in a tournament and it's so many seconds, gold medal on the line, whatever. That's a different thing. We're talking, but generally, as a rule, for skill acquisition and development, you shouldn't really be forcing your way through things. If it's not right, it's not right. Do you know what I mean? Okay, and there's a time and a place for that. But this is my favorite of this technical area. I will do this way more than I will do any of the others. Okay, and yeah, I was going to say something else, but I've forgotten, so I won't. So, that's for me. So, we're here up, okay? One of the reasons why I do this, I tend to grip like this at the front of the pant leg rather than like this. Okay, so there is a slight technical change here because I'm gripping at the front. Thumb can't go inside as such. To be honest, stick your thumb inside, referee will complain, do the sweep, and then say sorry. If you're not cheating, you're not competing. Okay? So we're in this position. Okay, he steps back, he looks to pass over my leg. My foot goes inside, I bring him to the floor, I kick him up, I start to kick him out. His weight's on his hand. Now this is the bit that's hard. I want to punch his leg away, and I want to move my legs into an S position. And I come up. Yeah? I'm now looking to just take him down to the floor, which is self-explanatory, quite easy. But more often than not, they start to do is the better standard is they starting to stand back up, get back to their feet. When that happens, I swoop with my left hand and cross my arms with my right hand. Do you get the idea? And then I can start coming to my take down position. Okay? I'm here, I change to a grip at the front. Okay, step back, foot on the pull. I kick them away and I punch. Good. Come on. He stands up. One more time. One more. I'm out. Is that right, Jim?
No,
No, I'm out. So here. Okay, so I have. So. Got? 1, 2. Guys and girls, no, it's okay, it's no problem. You're here to, it's good to practice. So, sorry, I'm holding your leg up. Something with, this is a sweep, but it's kind of turning semi into a takedown at the end as such. Because it's all in one motion, it still technically classes as a sweep, not a takedown, but you get the idea. We're going into sort of takedown territory. Try and remember the key word in that sentence. Take down. I know that sounds crazy, but one of the hardest things, like, you see guys and girls, like, sort of like, especially nogi, when they're like here, and you see them like come inside here, and then they start like, I could have sworn we said we were doing a takedown, not a take up. Do you understand what I mean? It's not a take up, right? Like if I'm inside here and I'm round, he says the circle, it's a take down, right? I'm coming back, I'm not going up. You understand what I mean? Yeah. So, you see people here, and they're like, it's not a take up, it's a take down. Yeah? It's part of the reason why when we're like, you know, if you're doing any judo or anything like that, this is one of the reasons why, if you can get them stepping in the act of doing it, one of the easiest ways of doing these kind of things is to step in and actually drop in your act of throwing. Do you understand what I mean? Because you're doing part of the kazushi with your body. Do you understand what I mean? Yeah? I'm moving in. Now if I throw myself, he's going with me. Yeah? So don't forget, it's a take down, not a take up. Look how long. Look high. Always look high. Yeah? I want to be here. I'm not like this, look. Look at me. Hi, Mum. Hi, Dad. What's going on here? You understand? Yeah. 1, 2, just a little test. A little test. So, have any of you watched Olympics? Yeah? So Olympic Games, gymnastics, all those kind of events, they give 2 scores, don't they? 2 sixes, if you like. 1 6 is for what?
Artistic impression.
Yeah, but what's the other one for then? Give me the other one first.
Like around.
How difficult it is. She did 12 triple salchows, 4 lutz, all the rest of it, bloody hell, that was hard. That's a 6. What's the other one for? I can see your faces thinking, what the hell is this got to do with jiu-jitsu? What's the other one for? What's the other one for, like?
Artistic impression.
Execution. Basically, in where I come from, how sexy it is. Do you know what I mean? Like, did it look pretty sexy? Did it look cool? Right? So what I want you to do in a minute, I'm going to challenge you, see what your memory is to repeat something, and I'm going to judge you all on that one, on how sexy it is. Yeah? So what I want you to do is imagine this young man over here is filming, and he's going to send you a copy of your demonstration to your mum. Say, look, Mum, this is what I do. This is what I do, and this is how good I am. Yeah? So I need artistic impression, beautiful. That's what I need from you. So, first test, show me guard retention when someone tries to go to headquarters. Yeah? Does anybody not know what I'm on about? I tried to go to the headquarters. Show me guard retention from headquarters, and I'm going to score you out of 6. All right. 1, 2.
Oh, fuck. I'm not good. No. That's good. Oh, really? I'm doing I've got it.
Guard retention. When someone goes to HQ and then back that up with triangle finish. Yeah? All right? Remember, look eye. Always look eye. All right? 1, 2. Oh, good solid 4.5, 5. Just open your feet on hips. Show me the same thing, but with armbar finish. Yes? 1, 2. I'm not sure if I can give it back out of 6, but 6 over here.
Yeah. That one, who's gonna go?
No, I'm afraid to do it because I'm gonna get this.
And you were gonna try to grab your
Up, down. Up, down. Okay, 1, 2. Big man, go on, go, 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 go. 5.
Jeg kom på.
All right. Tempo. Time. Everybody come in and have a minute. Come in a bit for me if you would, please. I only say come in more because it's homely and I can't really see very far, to be honest, so it all seems such a long way away. Right, well that were a load of drivel, weren't it? Basically, like I said, quick recap, what have we done? What we've done is we've looked at a guard retention position from a very, very popular scenario. When we've got into open guard, people force headquarters. When they force headquarters, in a perfect ideal world, we're generally always taking them to what I call our open side. Do you know what I mean? So in an ideal world, we get under here, and whether from the gi or from the lat, we try to direct them towards our open side. Does that make sense? And then from that open side, we've looked at a lot of attacks we can do from that open side. We did briefly mention, just to consolidate the notion of pulling the person onto the ball, we did talk about that when they're in headquarters, they might look to go to the closed side. Yeah? And we basically just said, we're looking at like the same style of thing, where we want to pull them onto the ball and lift them off us. Does that sort of make a bit of sense? Like somewhere between outright lunacy and sense, somewhere on the spectrum. Do you know what I mean? Like, like I say, techniques in jiu-jitsu are great. Do you know what I mean? And for anybody to say that you can, you know, I've been doing this sport about 30 years. You know, like I've lived in Brazil, I've lived in America. You know, I'm not going to give him the CV because that doesn't matter. But my experience tells me from a lot of years and a lot of competition in a lot of domains that you need a multifaceted approach to your game. So you need these technical elements that are very specific, that give you like a knife edge, if you like sharp tools that you can stab with. And then you need also these generic concepts that apply when the game's messy and 100 mile an hour and you can't focus your thought process. Does that make sense? And this idea of bringing the opponent on you to create that off balancing, that kazushi, that feeling of being on a ball, that's such an important generic like concept to have in your rolling. Today we've done it through the concept of, through when people go to headquarters. Tomorrow in my no-gi session, what I'm going to do is talk about it from that similar kind of concept, from half guard and very focused towards like no-gi and internal guards and that kind of domain. So I'm going to talk about it in that way. So it'll be a very sort of similar focus, but slightly different because it'll come from a different place. Does that sort of make sense to everybody? Yeah. I think what Mark's got planned is that there's like beers and food, which is always good. Two of my favourite things, really. So we've got beer, food, and there I think there's an open mat downstairs for any crazy, I mean, diligent people that want to continue to roll and do stuff. Yeah? So thanks for listening to my drivel. I hope it was not 2 hours lost and more 2 hours gained. And maybe I'll see some of you tomorrow. And if you're around, come and have a beer with me and we'll have a chat and a drink, the way all chats should be. Okay. God bless. Thank you.